All right, and welcome back to the BettingPros YouTube channel. Seth Woolcock here, and in this video, I'll break down the 5 biggest moves of NFL free agency and how they impact the futures betting market. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this type of content. Also, subscribe if you're new so you can start betting smarter, not harder when it comes to the NFL. And let's go ahead and jump in, starting out on the West Coast with the Los Angeles Rams, who replaced 31-year-old wide receiver Cooper Kupp with a 32-year-old Davante Adams, giving the 3-time All-Pro a 2-year, $44 million deal. With Matthew Stafford back in the mix on a team-friendly deal and a young defense that is buzzing, the books are sky high right now on Sean McVay's squad. Prior to this Adams signing, you could get the Rams at 28-1 on DraftKings to win the Super Bowl. They're now down to 22-1 and as low as 21-1 over on FanDuel. Their NFC Championship odds have also shrunk from 13-1 to 10-1. And look, I like the Rams as much as anyone, and I recognize they were the closest team to knocking off the Eagles last postseason. However, betting them to go the distance or even just win the conference feels risky at current odds, considering that you're banking on 37-year-old Matthew Stafford to once again remain healthy. Their wide receiver one, Puka Nacua, also just missed 6 games a season ago, and their RB1, Kyren Williams, he missed 5 games in 2023. Still, there's a lot to like with 2024 Defensive Rookie of the Year Jared Verse and his former Florida State teammate Braden Fisk likely taking another step in their second year, coming off the edge. I just think the opportunity to buy the Rams is now closed following NFL free agency. Moving to the nation's capital, where 2024's surprise team, the Washington Commanders, have been making waves via the trade market. It began back at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, where they traded a 2025 fifth-round pick for dual-threat wide receiver Deebo Samuel from the San Francisco 49ers. Expect Deebo to play a mix of flanker and slot, potentially opening up more down-the-field action for scary Terry McLaurin. Washington also signed defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw to a 3-year, $45 million deal, but then made headlines once again when they sent 4 picks for 5-time All-Pro left tackle Laramie Tunsil and a 2025 4th-rounder from the Texans. Tunsil immediately will slot in to protect Jaden Daniels' blind side, and maybe this serves as a place where he can revitalize his career. The books, they certainly think so. Washington originally opened up at 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. That moved to 19-1 at DraftKings after the Deebo trade, and then the Tunsil deal shrunk these odds even further on DraftKings to 16-1 and as low as 15-1 at FanDuel. There is still an 18-1 ticket floating around at BetMGM if you want it. I'm personally going to be holding off on that because now we got another year on tape of Jaden Daniels in the Cliff Kingsbury offense, a full 18+ games we can look back on. They also share the NFC East with the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Still, I don't blame anyone who wants to take a shot on the commies following their dynamic run to the NFC title game. I just think it's another situation that window might have closed to get that opening line value. And before we continue, I did want to remind everyone to please download the free BettingPros app for iOS and Android. With Sportsbook Sync, you can actually automatically track your bets across all major sportsbooks in one spot. Easily monitor your bet performance by sport and bet type, including game picks, props, and parlays. You can also create custom betting systems and find winning trends and profitable opportunities. Get a free trial of BettingPros Premium by downloading the app at bettingpros.com/apps and activating your trial on the upgrade screen. Super Bowl odds are also shrinking out in the Steel City, with the Pittsburgh Steelers sending a 2nd-round pick to the Seattle Seahawks for alpha wide receiver DK Metcalf, giving the former Ole Miss Rebel a 4-year, $132 million deal. Pittsburgh also added Super Bowl winning cornerback Darius Big Play Slay on a 1-year, $10 million deal. This caused absolutely massive movement in the future betting market, specifically at DraftKings. The Lures originally opened at 70-1 to win the Super Bowl. That has since shrunk to 40-1. Their AFC odds went with it from 30-1 to 19-1. This is blasphemy, considering that at the time of this recording, Pittsburgh's starting quarterback is Mason Rudolph, who just signed a 2-year, $8 million deal to return to the Keystone State. Sure, they're still in the mix for guys like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or a potential rookie. But this is the same Steelers team that just lost Najee Harris and at the same time has not won a playoff game since 2016. I'm out even at the 50-1 price that Bet Rivers is still offering for them to hoist a Lombardi, and I'm worried that this will also zap value out of their win total and to make the playoff odds once those markets are released as well. Don't get me wrong, I've still got a lot of love for the Berg, everything out there, including Iron City Light, Permane Brothers sandwiches, but at the same time, they have absolutely no value in the future betting market following NFL free agency. Speaking of the Seahawks, they shipped out DK Metcalf and quarterback Geno Smith while also releasing veteran wide receiver Tyler Lockett. They were active in free agency, giving Sam Darnold a 3-year, $100.5 million deal and signing Cowboys veteran defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence to a 3-year, $42 million deal. Still, there are some huge holes up there in the Pacific Northwest, specifically at wide receiver behind Jackson Smith-Njigba and on this offensive line. Seattle does have 10 draft picks to plug some of those holes, but the books know how much Sam Darnold struggled late under pressure in last season with the Vikings. Their odds have actually gone from 65-1 up to 70-1. And speaking of the Vikings, their Super Bowl odds have also somehow dropped from 40-1 to 35-1 at DraftKings, with former Michigan Wolverine JJ McCarthy now expected to take over as their starting quarterback following Darnold's exit. Bet Rivers hasn't dropped their odds as much, still offering a 40-1 ticket on Minnesota. That's not a terrible number considering they opened at 22-1 back in February, and they've beefed up both their offensive and defensive line during free agency, adding the likes of Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave if he's healthy, Will Fries, and Ryan Kelly. We might not know what we're getting out of McCarthy following a lost rookie season. However, we very much know what head coach Kevin O'Connell is capable of with weapons like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones out of the backfield as well at his disposal. The Super Bowl window is very much wide open for Skull Nation, and I'll be tossing a small ticket on their Super Bowl odds now while they can still get that 40-1 offering. Last but not least, let's head to the Windy City where the Chicago Bears are building through the trenches finally. They signed center Drew Allman, the top offensive lineman on the market, to a 3-year, $48 million deal. They also bolstered upfront protection by making trades for 2-time All-Pro guard Joe Thuney for a 2026 4th-round pick and guard Jonah Jackson for a 2025 6th-round pick. On the defensive line, they also added Colts defensive end Dio Adigbo for a 3-year, $48 million deal, and Falcons defensive tackle Grady Jarrett to a 3-year, $34.5 million deal. New head coach Ben Johnson is following a similar formula to what he did with the Lions, and the books are privy to it. Their odds to win the Super Bowl were 250-1 before hiring Ben Johnson. Their odds were 40-1 at DraftKings prior to these moves. They're now down to 35-1 after it. I do expect an absolutely huge jump from Caleb Williams in year 2, but this odds movement has taken all the value out of betting on the Bears in their current future odds. Still, I want to keep an eye out for maybe some potential win total bets on the Bears, maybe some season-long props for Caleb Williams to go over yardage, over touchdowns. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for us today here on Betting Pros. What free agency move that affected the future market did I miss? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to hear from you. And as always, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this type of content. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to download that BettingPros app and sync your sportsbooks today. I'm Seth Woolcock. Take care, y'all.